So we just arrived to Amsterdam. In this city, separate collection of bio-waste is still not implemented. So let's talk to someone who knows the story. So we are in Amsterdam Arena Station and we are here with Gijs Langeveld. Thank you for coming, Gijs.
You're welcome.
Good. So he's an expert in source separation, individual consultant, and is cooperating with the government and with many cities supporting the introduction of food waste source separation here in the Netherlands. So Gijs, tell us something about Amsterdam and generally speaking about the Netherlands.
Well, in the Netherlands currently we separate about 53% of our waste. But we still have a big challenge. We want to go to 75%. The minister said it should be 75% in 2020, and therefore there's a big challenge. In smaller areas and smaller cities, we have introduced new systems like pay-as-you-throw and reversed waste collection. Where reversed waste collection is a system where we come and collect your resources at the door, but for residual waste you need to walk
to a longer distance to make it more difficult. Okay.
Yeah, so and actually the funny thing is, and what we already know is that for those kind of areas the best practices are available. We just need to copy them towards other
and to
areas.
replicate that. But focusing on bio-waste, you mentioned to me before that Amsterdam is really willing to do some trial, is it?
Yeah, the big challenge right now is in the cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam, The Hague, Utrecht, or bigger cities, and they are all moving. And for example, in Amsterdam, they're part of a project I'm running right now together with 7 municipalities. We're testing on how can you improve food waste collection and separate food waste collection within a city where there's highly dense area like here, what you can see here, and how can you still motivate people to separate their waste and specifically food waste.
Exactly.
So we run now a project of 4 years to test it and mainly to test behavioral science with it.
Good. And how is it going, this trial?
Well, the first pilots are finished now in Almere and in Amsterdam, and our scientists are now working on the results. And I'm very glad that the other pilots in Rotterdam and The Hague, for example, in Utrecht, they have been starting up now. So in the second half of this year, we'll be testing some behavioral insights, for example, social modeling, in which you have someone who sets the example towards others, and what kind of influence that has on separation of food waste.
Very good. And you mentioned pay-as-you-throw. We are currently running a project, an Horizon 2020 project, Waste for Think, in which we are testing different pay-as-you-throw schemes. You mentioned that there are many schemes in place in the Netherlands.
Yeah, we have different systems. We have systems based on volume, we have systems based on frequency or a combination of both. We have even
in larger cities also?
In larger cities the system is either with a bag, where you pay per bag, or with a container. Where you
with
pay
stickers, volume, frequency based.
So they're all tagged, the containers, so they see when you offer it, and then based on when you put it at the street, then you pay.
As you know, the European Waste Framework Directive set up this obligation of the introduction of bio-waste source separation. Do you think that it will be going to replicate across Europe, or it will be more difficult in difficult areas like larger city or high dense area? This is
It's a really interesting question, because like in the Netherlands, officially separate collection of food waste and of organic waste has been obliged by law since 1992. But there are always ways as a city how you can either do it on a very low level or do it not. So the main thing is not so much about that it's an obligation, but also on what is the drive of cities to implement it, and I think right now at this stage, for larger cities, they have a big their main drive to do it is either climate change and the impact as a city, or to become a circular city. From a resilience point of view, you want to do something with your waste, and specifically with food waste.
Yeah.
So there are now becoming more and more drivers than 10 to 20 years ago, at least here in the Netherlands.
Exactly.
But I see that internationally.
And we hope that these short interviews will become kind of a driver to other stakeholders, also in terms of policy making and governments. So thank you, Gijs, for your interview. See you in the next chapter. I will be going to Brussels to meet other people. Thank you, Gijs.
Very good.